Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Today we're going to do a Divine Masculine check-in. Okay, let's take a moment. Everybody take a deep breath and center yourself so that we can be open to receive messages, guidance, love for the highest and best good of self and the planet. Okay, Spirit, what do you got for us today? What are we working with? What are the Divine Masculines need to know for the highest and best good of self and the planet? What are the blocks showing up on their path, and what are the solutions to those blocks? What do we need to know? What do Divine Masculines need to know? Thank you so much. Okay, making sure you're embracing your inner intuition, your nature, making sure your pride doesn't get in the way of your intuition, approaching yourself with compassion, empathy, and understanding that this journey into and through vulnerability, masculines, can be an adventure. It doesn't have to be a scary thing that is conflicting, that is in conflict with your alignment. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Any other core messages? Thank you so much. We have teaching and learning in reverse and it's funny. I read that as completion, as competition, but it says completion. So that feels very important. Masculines, you are meant for something greater than where you are. I know it. Deep down, you know it. You are meant to overcome whatever is blocking you, learning how to do that for yourself so that you can teach others how to do that. You're being called to bring whatever this part of your journey is into full circle, into completion. What's in the unconscious position? Yeah, we have manifestation. Wait, let me see if I could, my little oracle lunchbox. Okay. Let's just keep this here in the unconscious position. I'm sending the part of yourself a lot of love that doesn't believe that you can do it, right? So your ability to bring things into reality, to bring things out of the 5D into the 3D, out of the realm of spirit and energy into the realm of matter, is being pushed into the shadow. It's something, I don't know what it is for you. It's something either you think you can't do. It's something that you might be ashamed of. I shouldn't be telling you. I should be asking you, what is this for you? Is this something, sorry, I'm feeling into how to word it. I'm also getting a interesting family lineage. Okay, here's a really specific thread for someone. Has the masculine lineage in your ancestry been very high accomplishers, high achievers? There's a message for someone here that maybe you have put the men in your family, the masculines in your family, on such a high pedestal that you've actually othered yourself, that you placed yourself beneath them. Masculines, this is an illusion. This is a false perception. This isn't reality. This is a fear. This is false evidence false evidence appearing real, right? Fear, F-E-R-A-R, false evidence appearing real. It's just rooted in some sort of insecurity, some sort of pressure you've put on yourself to be like someone else, or to live up to some sort of like family name or family business or family level of achieving. And by actually keeping those narratives alive, it's actually sabotaging your exaltation. It's actually sabotaging the gifts that you specifically have, the gifts that are unique to you, the gifts that might have nothing to do with your family gifts, family business, family talents. And you have to gift yourself the grace to allow your path to get a little bit wobbly so that you can explore what your unique situation is, how you can best transmute your specific parts of self so that you can step into this leadership over your own soul. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. It was getting a little foggy right there. Let's see what else, masculines, what else is holding you back? What do we need to know? Okay, should we ask a specific question, Spirit? What's the most interesting? Yeah, me personally, Karen, I'm very interested in the teaching and learning, because this feels like it's a thread or a piece of your career. But I'm also very interested on your pride, of like, basically, it feels like your pride is the thing blocking all of this deliciousness from coming in, or your inability to have compassion for the shadowy parts of self. Okay, so Spirit, can you speak into the pride and the gifts, or the next part of the journey that the masculines are speaking into? Okay, we have something. Let's see what it is. Immune support. Sorry, I'm working with a limited setup here. I just want to make sure I see everything. Thank you. We have immune support. We have strong boundaries. That's actually very interesting. Anything else before I start going on my soapbox and on my rant this morning? Anything else, Spirit? It's very interesting. The cards are really sticking right now, almost like someone bent the middle of my deck. And I'm the only one that touches these, but do you see that? It's very weird. Masculines, do you feel that you've been bending over backwards for someone or something? Do you feel like you've been bending over backwards to fulfill this family crest? I didn't grow up in a family where like there was like a big pressure to uphold the family name. I didn't have that personal experience, but I'm wondering if they're hold on, I'm losing my thread. Bear with me. You're being asked, masculines, to have radically strong boundaries around what lights you up, around what excites you, even if what excites you is in total conflict with that which your family is producing, or that the standards that they're holding the whole entire family to. Because until you, okay, this is a psychology Jungian path of individuation. Until you individuate from your parents, from your family of origin, you're going to continue to stall your own progress, to stall your own gifts from flowing in. Is there anything else about this, Spirit? Can you say something else for me? I feel like we're missing a little piece of the puzzle, Spirit. Anything else? Maybe not. I didn't really talk about immune support. Okay, so have you ever gone into a situation where the possibility of getting sick might happen? Like, say you're going to go teach in a classroom and there's a bunch of little kids that, I feel like little kids are little petri dishes of germs. I mean, they're beautiful gifts of the divine as well. But, a situation like that, or if you're traveling or going on an airplane, if you know you're walking into a touchy situation, masculines, what would you do to prepare your immune system if you think you're walking into a place where you might get sick? Well, maybe you would make sure to nourish your body, mind, and soul the week before you travel. Maybe you would take certain supplements, vitamins, minerals. Maybe you'd nourish your body with appropriate food, hydrate. You'd get a lot of good movement or exercise. You'd keep your energy and spirits high. You'd stay positive, right? Because, when we are consistently catastrophizing our lives, or in a state of fear, it actually does lower our immune system. This is energy anatomy stuff. So it's like, catch yourself as you prepare to enter into a difficult situation or a volatile, and this might be what we mentioned earlier about like standing up to your family, going against the grain of your family. I'm really feeling the family narrative. But for some of you, it also might be going against your boss. It's really hard to, when everyone in the company is swimming upstream and you're the one one employee swimming in the other direction, or maybe you're the whistleblower. Maybe, I just laughed as I said whistleblower, that card fell. Very interesting. Maybe you're the whistleblower and you're about to blow the lid off of a very corrupt situation that's happening or something. In order to, if you're stepping into a period of instability, if shit's about to hit the fan and you're about to blow the lid off something, you want to stabilize yourself, right? If there's a potential that you might get fired, you might start, getting your affairs in order at work. Maybe you might start making sure that your emergency savings account has 6 months of expenses in it. You would do certain steps to prepare to, stand in front of the firing squad, essentially. But this is a really sacred rite of passage for you masculines, to really take accountability for the direction of your life without letting anyone else's opinions or criticisms affect what you know to be true in your heart. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Wow, I had a card jump 6 inches in the air and slide right back into the deck. We're having sticky messages today, and maybe that's it. Okay, let's go somewhere else, Spirit. Where would you like us to go? Okay. If I could pick up this huge deck. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? That's too many. Please be precise. Thank you for being with us, but please be precise so we can dissect and interpret what you mean for the highest and best good of self and the planet. Are we taking all of these? No, we're not. That's way too many. Is there anything you want to share with us? Thank you. That's perfect. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, we have Take the Lead. We have Stag Spirit. We have Skunk Spirit, Know Your Worth. Oh my God, these are all aligning. And then Badger Spirit, Be Fearless and Bold. Masculines, you are getting all of the support you need from the universe, from God, from your soul crew, from your spirit team, your angels, your guardians. You can leap off the cliff. You are supported. You are being called to understand the power of your alignment, the power of your intention, and the fact that you have all of the tools and support and stability to take the action, to take the lead in your own life, to be fearless and bold. To be fearless, one must confront the fear that exists in our root chakra, right? That's family of origin stuff. That's financial stability, feeling of safety in ourselves and out in the world. We have to look at those, look very kindly. Yeah, Spirit just interrupted me. Okay, hold on. I can't stress enough, masculines, how important it is for you to be gentle with these parts of self that are really struggling to take another step, that are really fighting against that. It's like the ego death. I just had a wonderful conversation with one of my soul sisters this morning who came to visit me on my little vacay about annihilation. And in essence, masculines, your internal world is also mirroring the external world, and the external world is mirroring your internal world. There's been a lot of political unrest in the world. There's been a lot of upheaval. There's been a lot of war and really tragic, horrible things happening. And so it's up to us as individuals to round up all of that density and corral it. Like I'm doing this, you can't see, but I'm stretching my arms out, like almost to give a big bear hug to all of the pain, suffering, and fear in the world, and bring it into our heart space. Really embrace. Hold on, a truck is going by. Really embrace all of the pain and suffering, corral it, bring it into our hearts, and hold it in our hearts until love arrives again, until that fear dissipates back out to the quantum field. I'm just reminding you again, masculines, I feel like I said this in your last reading, but you're never doing this work alone. It doesn't matter how alone you feel, you are never alone. When you come to a wall, when you come to a dead end in your life and you don't know which way to go, look upward, turn to source, turn to God, ask a real life question. I think that's so part of my work here as a oneness initiate is to remind people that we are not other than God. God is not other than us. We are all one entity of creation and loving awareness. And so we get to tap in to divine wisdom whenever we need it. If you don't have an answer to a question, ask God. Say, how do I humbly serve this awareness that's arriving in my heart? I'm struggling to get out of it. I don't believe that I will make it through. Help me, give me clarity on this subject or on this, show me which way to go. Make me an instrument of your peace. Help me pick up my bed and walk. I laugh. In the unconscious, we have peacock spirit, let it shine. Again, this is like an amazing call, that an amazing affirmation that masculines, you have your own star quality. You have something that no one else in your family has. No one is going to roll out the red carpet for you in your family, especially if what you're doing goes against the grain. You have to roll out your own red carpet and take radical, beautiful accountability for valuing your gifts. You need to validate self, right? We don't look external for what we have to give ourselves internally. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Is there anything else that you want to share? Is there anything else blocking? Are there any other prescriptions for this ego blockage? Is there anything else blocking this individuation process? Is there anything else blocking the masculines from stepping out into their divine truth? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Is there anything left for us to discuss? Thank you so much for being with us. Maybe not. Maybe we get some affirmations. Yeah, no. Actually, hold on. Before we get affirmations, let me just try one other situation, one other deck. Thank you. I knew there was something else in there. Okay, we have this enlightenment card. It says, pursue spiritual growth. Yes, masculines. I'm not saying this to harm your ego, but you don't have all the answers. You don't. None of us do. So if you're putting any sort of pressure on yourself to be the one that knows, to turn inward, to deliver, you got to take yourself down a few pegs. It's okay. Not only okay, but it behooves you to reach outside of self, whether that's to the universe, to the quantum field, to God, to a mentor, a spiritual mentor, a business mentor, a divine feminine that you look up to help you navigate the waters of the unseen. It could be, just reminding you that you also have an internal feminine that's open, ready, waiting, and willing to show up for you, to escort you lovingly through this next portal, this next rite of passage. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else that would support this enlightenment, that would support these masculines on this path of illumination? Because that's what the path of illumination is. It's a path to consciousness. That's it. Anything else? Thank you so much. We have Angel of Miracles. Open your heart and expect a miracle. Okay. I've now had this specific conversation with so many people, including my clients. I can't tell you how many people that have crossed my path who have said some version of, I know I'm meant for something greater. And when they have miraculous things happen, they say, oh my God, this was, this was a once in a lifetime experience, and they're in awe and wonder. And while that might be a beautiful feeling in regular waking life, when it comes to mystical experiences, masculines, I'm going to invite you to take out the extraordinary out of this miracle. It's not a miracle. This is ordinary for your life. When we think things are miracles, when we think things are a one-off mystical experience, we actually put these divine things on a pedestal, and we place ourselves beneath them. We place ourselves beneath them and imply a certain scarcity, that this one experience was so special and it's never going to happen again. No. Masculines, I'm going to say this probably every other reading because this is the season that we're in. This is ordinary for you. This is a regular Tuesday afternoon for you to be in alignment with the divine. When you show up for the divine shows up for you. So I'm going to ask you to take the miracles out of your life and understand that you can rely on spirit as you could rely on a 3D. If you ask your best friend to pick you up from the airport, you rely on them to show up at that time, right? You can rely on the divine. You can rely on the quantum field. And when you start having that level of 3D confidence in the unseen world shows up for you 10 out of 10 times. But it's up to you to if you don't want to take the divine off the pedestal, that's fine. Then you have to put yourself also on the pedestal. You have to understand that you are both God and not God. You are not other than a fractal of the divine. Thank you, Spirit. Beautiful, beautiful message. Okay, this is going to be my last message here. We have 7 heavenly virtues, keys to goodness. Masculines, you're being called to organize your discipline. You're very good at building infrastructure. You're very good at maintaining routines, at doing things that in a consecutive order that support your growth and change. But maybe some of you have sort of fallen off the wagon in some of your, disciplined approaches. 7 heavenly virtues, habits of doing good. What are things? There's the actual 7 heavenly virtues. I can't think of all of them right now. But if you don't align with the traditional 7 heavenly virtues, you can create your own. What are those things that keep you in alignment? What are those things that keep you in check? Maybe it's taking care of your mind, body, soul. What do you do for your body every day, your mind, and your soul? Are you in alignment? Do you feel that all these parts of self are getting fueled every day? If we don't tend to the garden will die, right? We have to go early in the morning, check the garden, water the garden, weed the garden, make sure there's no pests or animals eating our vegetables, right? It requires upkeep, masculines. And so you're being called to just be present with what your life is calling you to in this moment. What's being pushed into the unconscious is children. It says, know that your children are protected. If you have dependents, if you have actual children or just people that are under your care in some capacity, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your community circles, or even at work, if you have employees beneath you, understand that when you take action for your highest and best, most aligned thoughts, desires, and actions, the people under you, your dependents, will bear the fruits of this change. You don't have to worry that you're screwing over, other people or other situations. Doing what's best for you is what's best for everyone else. And I think growing up in our society that is all about results oriented and all these things, and it's really hard to put ourselves first in that capacity. It's very difficult to not self-sacrifice. We all we are, in some societies, we are glorified for how much we sacrifice. And really what that is saying is that we're glorifying self-abandonment and betrayal. And that's another piece of this path of healing and wholeness. We're learning how to honor our truth without abandoning ourselves or betraying these parts of self that have deep, deep desires and deep, that have their own specific, authentic self-expression. So again, we're learning how not to abandon or betray self. I think we're going to end it shortly. Let's get an affirmation card. What do masculines need to know right now? What would support them on this path? Maybe not. We'll see. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? Wow, this is a sticky deck today. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we got a bunch. We have I accept abundance. This is okay, hold on before I read the card. This is another level of taking all of this beauty, all of this wealth and abundance off the pedestal. You are not other than abundance. You are equal to abundance. It says abundance is available to you when you expect and accept it. Abundance can come in many forms, including love, time, and finances. Claim it, masculines, as your own and be willing to accept it when it comes. We have I practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is a feeling Forgiveness is a feeling, masculines. By forgiving yourself and others, you allow yourself to move forward with confidence and peace. Open up to all the love and joy you deserve by letting go of what no longer serves you. This includes individuating from family thoughts, from family pressure, from fears you feel of disappointing family. This is really important. Practice forgiveness. Forgive your family for putting unrealistic pressures that go against your soul's deepest alignment. Forgive yourself for believing them. Forgive yourself for abandoning and betraying these parts of self. And then we have I recognize synchronicities. It says the universe is speaking to you, so pay attention. Patterns, coincidences, and serendipity are all signs of recognition, motivation, and support that you are making progress on your life path. This is another nod to what I said earlier, that you're never doing this alone, that actually God, the quantum field, the universe, whatever you call God, is in constant, nonstop communication with you. But the only thing that's blocking that is your awareness of it. Once you start to tune in, it's like that thing, when you get a new car or get whatever, you're driving a new vehicle and you've never seen the vehicle you bought ever on the road. And because you own the vehicle now, you see them everywhere. It's the same thing. Because you're now in alignment, because you're now in a vehicle where God's in the driver's seat, you get to see God everywhere. You get to see this oneness, love everywhere in the world. You just have to be open to it. Oh my God, look. I didn't even see this whole time. It was off to the side. I am a magnet for loving kindness. Ooh, hold on, I just dropped the card. Okay, it says, intentionally send gratitude and goodwill out into the universe, and you'll soon find you are attracting loving kindness into your life. This will create an environment that is a safe space for vulnerability and an opportunity to nourish the authentic connections that come your way. This is it. This is it, masculines. I'm very proud of you that you're at this fork in the road, this choice point where you can either individuate from your family, you can individuate from people, places, and things that put pressure on you to do, to say, to implement things that are in alignment with them, not you. You're being called to step into the lead role in your life. And if you catch yourself following someone else or believing someone else over your own intuition, that's your work. Call your spirit back from places it doesn't belong and ground in self. Big reading, masculines. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one.